Okay, so let's dive in. We've got this really interesting internal playbook in front of us. It's a presentation deck, basically, made for project managers.
Right.
And it's all about how to move from just, being an admin to actually being a strategic influencer. So for this deep dive, we're going to unpack the PM's playbook for strategic influence and really focus on how they use an AI co-pilot for those big, high-stakes steering committee updates.
And it's such a critical topic because the stakes are, well, they're way higher than most people think. The deck kicks off with this really painful number.
I saw that.
Nearly half of presenters spend over 8 hours on a single presentation. And for a PM, that time is almost always for that one big update, the SteerCo update.
8 hours. Just think about that for a second. That's an entire workday just
Uh-huh.
gone, not on strategy, but wrestling with fonts and charts.
Exactly. The presentation makes it so clear. SteerCo meetings aren't just a check-in. This is where the money is approved. This is where the project's fate is decided.
Yeah.
You go in with a bad presentation.
And you put the whole thing at risk.
You really do. It erodes confidence. It stalls decisions. It's a high-pressure situation.
So, okay, before we even get to the AI, we have to get the fundamentals right. Who are we even talking to? The deck starts by deconstructing the steering committee. It calls them a governance body, there for oversight and direction.
And this part is key. It breaks down their 4 main jobs, which tells you exactly what your presentation needs to cover. First up is strategic alignment.
Meaning, does your project actually help the company's big picture goals?
Precisely. If you can't draw a straight line from your project to their main strategy, you won't get their attention or their funding.
Okay, number 2 is pretty straightforward. Resource allocation and budget approval. They hold the purse strings.
They do. Then third is risk management and issue resolution. They're there to help you with the big, scary stuff, financial risks, operational problems, but you can't just show up with a problem.
You need a plan.
You need a plan. You have to be proactive.
And that all leads to the final one, which is kind of the whole point of the meeting. Decision-making authority. This is where you go for the big calls on scope, on timelines, on budget.
Which brings us to a key insight here that I think is so important. The deck says the PM's role isn't just to report. It's to guide, influence, and secure the decisions needed for success.
That's a huge mental shift. From reporter to influencer.
It's everything. It's moving from being reactive to being proactive. You're not just saying what happened, you're selling the next step.
And to do that, you need a solid structure. That's where they bring in the unshakable narrative, a 5-part story that every single one of these presentations should follow.
Yes, and it's brilliant because it's built around respecting their time. It flips the whole traditional report on its head.
So what's step 1?
Step 1, the executive summary. This is it, the single most important slide. You have to state your status, your key message, and, this is the most important part, answer the question, what do you want from me? Right there on slide 1.
If you don't nail that, you've basically lost them for the rest of the meeting.
You have. Then step 2 is the project health dashboard. Just a simple at-a-glance view. Red, amber, green.
The classic stoplight system.
Yeah, for your main KPIs. Scope, schedule, budget, and resources. It forces you to be honest and concise. Red means I need your help now. Green means we're good. No hiding.
Okay, then you build some positive momentum. Step 3 is key achievements and progress.
Right. Show them what you've delivered. Show them their investment is paying off. It builds confidence.
And only then do you get to the problems.
Exactly. Step 4, risks, issues, and mitigations. And you only bring the top 1 to 3 risks. You state the risk, its impact, and your proposed solution. Never, ever bring a problem without a solution.
It shows you're in control even when things are messy.
It does. And finally, step 5, the whole reason you're there. Key decisions and asks, the call to action. You have to be direct, unambiguous. I need you to approve X so we can achieve Y.
That framework is rock solid. But they also have these rules of engagement, right? The DOs and don'ts.
Yes, and these are the things that trip people up. The DOs are pretty intuitive but easy to forget. Know your audience. They're leaders, not your tech team.
Speak their language. Business impact, not jargon.
Exactly. Communicate clearly. And be proactive on risks. Show them you're thinking ahead.
And the don'ts. I feel like I've seen all of these in the wild.
Oh, for sure. They say don't use vague language, it just kills trust. And please, don't overload with data. Give them insights, not the whole spreadsheet.
I think the biggest one for me is don't focus only on burning issues. If all you bring are fires to put out, you just look reactive.
You do. And the simplest one, don't repeat yourself.
Easier said than done.
It is. And this is the perfect pivot point because having a great framework is one thing,
Mm.
but actually building it from all your raw data, your risk logs, your status reports, that's the bottleneck. That's where those 8+ hours come from.
Right, and this is where the playbook brings in the AI, not as just some grammar checker, but as a strategic co-pilot. They call it a cognitive force multiplier.
I love that term. And their first play is maybe the most powerful. Play 1. AI as your strategic analyst. This is all about what you do before you even open a slide deck.
So how does that work?
Well, first, it can synthesize data overload. You feed it all your reports, notes, budget sheets, and the AI finds the patterns and drafts an executive summary for you. You're starting with a summary, not a blank page.
Okay, that's already a huge time saver.
It's massive. But the next part is, I think, a total game changer. Simulate stakeholder perspectives.
What does that even mean?
You can tell the AI, act as our CFO. You're worried about Q4 spending. Based on this project data, what are your top 3 questions or objections?
Wow, so you can basically preempt their concerns before you even walk in the room. You're stress testing your own presentation.
You are. No more surprises. And the third part of this play is run what-if scenarios.
Oh.
You can ask the AI to model what happens if a vendor is late or you lose a team member. It helps you build contingency plans.
So you're not just analyzing the past, you're preparing for the future.
Exactly. And that's all before you've even made a single slide.
Yeah.
Then you get to play 2, AI as your narrative builder. This is where we go from insight to a first draft in minutes.
How does it go?
A few ways. You can do a document to presentation conversion. Just upload a big PDF of your project plan, and it'll structure it into that 5-part narrative for you.
That's incredible.
Or you could do prompt to presentation generation. You just type, create a 10-slide Steerco update from this status report. And then my favorite, strategic reframing.
Reframes.
Yeah. It translates the technical jargon from your team into the business impact language that leaders understand. It takes, we finished the database migration script and turns it into achieved full technical integration, mitigating a core data risk.
It's a translator. It bridges the gap between the team on the ground and the execs in the boardroom.
That's a perfect way to put it.
If you're finding this deep dive into strategic communication and AI augmentation valuable, especially seeing how this shift empowers project leaders to move from deep analysis to clear narrative building, make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out our YouTube channel. We often have visuals there that pair perfectly with discussions like this, showing the contrast between the old chaotic workflow and the new AI-augmented approach.
And that leads right into the final part of the execution. Play 3, AI as your production studio. This is what kills the last few hours of manual work route.
The design.
This is what they call ending slide paralysis, the intelligent reformatting or remix feature.
Yes, you have a wall of text, you click a button, and it becomes a 3-column visual or a timeline. It just automates good design.
And for big companies, the next one is huge. Brand consistency.
Oh, it's a lifesaver. You just set up your company's logo, colors, and fonts one time, and every slide the AI generates is perfectly on brand. No more manual checks.
And finally, visual generation. So no more hunting for stock photos for half an hour. None. You just describe what you need, and it creates icons, images, even editable charts for you.
So when you stack all 3 of those plays together, analysis, narrative, and production, the workflow completely changes.
It's night and day. And the deck has this incredible slide that shows it.
Money shot slide, the old way. Manual and reactive. 8 hours, mostly spent just drafting and formatting. Just low-value, painful work.
And the new way. AI-augmented and strategic. The total time, roughly 80 minutes.
Wait, from 8 hours to 80 minutes?
80 minutes, they break it down. 20 minutes for the AI analysis, 10 for the first draft, and then 50 minutes for the most important part, the human refinement, the storytelling, the polish.
That's 7 hours you get back. 7 hours to actually prepare, to rehearse, to anticipate questions instead of fixing font sizes.
That's not just a little more efficient. That's a strategic advantage. The deck even gives a quick overview of the tools that make this happen.
Right. It splits them into 2 types. You've got the integrated assistants like Plus AI or Microsoft 365 Copilot that live inside the tools you already use.
Which is great for workflow. And then you have standalone platforms like Bama or Tome. They're web-based and really good for more creative visual storytelling.
And to make this all feel real, they have a case study, right? Project Phoenix.
Yeah, Project Phoenix. A classic crisis. 15% behind schedule, scope is creeping. The next Steerco is basically do or die.
So what did the PM do?
They went full AI augmented, used AI to analyze the past reports to find the root cause, which was a resource problem, and crucially, used the simulation to predict what the leadership's objections would be.
Ah, so they were ready for the pushback.
Totally ready. Then the AI generated a first draft that wasn't a we're failing report, but a strategic proposal for a pivot with data to back it up. The PM spent their time just refining that ask and getting ready to sell the new strategy.
And the result?
The steerco got it immediately. The presentation was clear. It was solution-focused. The ask for a scope adjustment was approved in a single meeting. Confidence restored, project back on track. All because the focus was on influencing the decision, not just reporting the data.
So this really goes beyond just making a presentation. This is about becoming an AI-augmented leader.
It is. It's a systemic change. The benefits are huge. First, you free up mental capacity. You delegate all the grunt work to the AI so your brain can focus on actual strategy.
Second, you make better, faster decisions because the AI can analyze more data and run more scenarios than a human ever could.
Exactly. And third, and this is the big one, you scale your influence. When you communicate this clearly and this effectively to leadership, you build incredible trust. You become the person they rely on for the high-stakes stuff.
And the deck sums it all up with that quote from the Harvard Business Review.
It's the perfect summary. AI won't replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. That's the new reality of leadership.
And the playbook lays out the path forward for an organization. Get the tools, pilot the framework, and then share and refine what you learn.
The future really is that combination. It's your human judgment, your strategic insight, but amplified by an AI co-pilot that handles all the mechanics. That's the competitive edge.
So let's leave you with a final thought to mull over from this deep dive. If this shift really can take 8 hours of frustrating work and turn it into 80 minutes of focused strategy, if it gives you 7 hours back for every major presentation, what is the single highest value strategic problem, the one you always say you never have time for, that you would finally dedicate that saved time to solving? Think about the real strategic capacity you just unlocked.